be thinking of some bumper stickers, aren't you? Did you have time to think of any that you'd be willing to say out loud that are appropriate for Saturday afternoon at the library? Nobody? Well, I'll give you a few more minutes to think, or maybe some stimulation. I have some more about aging. My favorite childhood memory is my back not hurting. There's one. These are real, by the way. At my age, getting lucky is finding the car in the parking lot. My son did laugh about that one over the phone, I have to say. Geezer, not young, not dead, somewhere in between. And finally, if anyone calls you old, hit them with your cane and throw your teeth at them. I knew that would make you laugh, Tekeyla. Tekeyla Friday is not just an ordinary member of the Prairie Quills, she is our president. She has 3 diplomas in writing for children and young adults from the Institute of Children's Literature. She has published children's short stories. She has written many ghost writing projects, and she continues to hone her creative skills. Occasionally, she likes to dabble in poetry and adult writing. The piece she will be reading is based on a bumper sticker a friend gave her. I break for invisibles. Tekeyla.
I break for invisibles. Molly Margaret Moore was named after the beloved family dog. The Shih Tzu poodle cross pet was hit by a car a week before Molly was born. Molly's mother was so distressed that she declared the baby was going to be named after the beloved dog if it was a girl. Dad had no choice in the matter. Molly grew up having a wildhood where Mom didn't have many restrictions or boundaries. Bedtime was whenever Molly was tired. Bath time was whenever Molly was dirty and smelly. She explored her neighborhood, playing at the local park and making new friends. When there were no friends to play with, she created make-believe ones. One of her favorite made-up friends was a black unicorn with a silver horn. She called him Spike. He lived in huge dark storm clouds and would fly down whenever there was a bad storm. He would take her on magical adventures, flying high above the scary weather. Molly did not have much access to technology, so she grew up with an imagination. She raised her son Michael in much the same way. As she aged, her wild, adventurous side slowed down, and her body ached with arthritis. She moved to a city to be close to better health care. However, she had difficulties with the tailgaters who refused to obey speed limits. It was a whole different rodeo here than the sleepy little town that she grew up in. Late yesterday evening, she had a conversation with Michael over the phone. I need a refill of my medication, she had told him. I put it in the mail for you already, Michael had said. I thought you would be running low. Aw, such a dear, always thinking about me. How is life in the city, Michael had asked. Don't get me started. The tailgaters are terrible in this city. I'm afraid that if I have to slam on the brakes, I'm going to end up with a body in my trunk. She had expressed, I wish this overgrowing town had a decent bus service. I'd park my SUV for that. Oh, Mom, Michael had chuckled. What you need is a bumper sticker like mine. My brakes work well. How's your insurance? It keeps the tailgaters at bay. The next day, Molly found herself visiting her local bumper sticker shop, searching for a back-off sticker to add to her silver SUV. There was a good row of them, some quite rude. I'm not horny, get off my tail. Back off, bumper humpers. Any closer and I'll flick a booger at you. There were some humorous ones like, you're so close you might as well get in. Do you follow Jesus this close? Go ahead, pass me. I'll see you at the next red light." None of these really suited her. A bright red sticker caught her attention. It had cream printing which said, "I break for fairies, dragons, leprechauns, unicorns, gnomes, and other invisible creatures." Yes, this was her. This was it, and there was only one left. Molly snatched it up and hurried to the cashier. The young red-haired girl scanned the bumper sticker barcode. She frowned. "Odd, it didn't go through," she said. She keyed in the number. "I may have to call someone. It won't ring in." Molly sighed. "Take your time." It's not like she was in a hurry or anything. The girl phoned another person to come. An older gentleman hurried to the cashier and snatched the bumper sticker. He ran off with it. Molly tapped her foot. She hated it when the stock wasn't correctly catalogued, and you had to wait for what felt like an eternity for someone to find a blinking price for it. Arriving back, the man whispered to the girl. They both shrugged with identical puzzled expressions on their face. The girl typed a number into the cash register. $3.36, please, the girl said. Molly pulled a $5 bill out of her wallet. With bumper sticker in her hand, she hurried to her vehicle. She held the bright sticker to her silver bumper. It wasn't quite right there. She glanced at her back window and decided to stick it there. Peeling off the back, a strong scent of glue hit her senses. She smoothed the sticker over the glass. Out of nowhere, a crack of thunder lit the air. Molly jumped. She peered up at the sky. Dark clouds rolled over the horizon at an almost surreal velocity. "I thought the Weather Channel said it was going to be sunny today," she murmured. "I'd best get home before I get caught in that storm. Mother Nature, like any woman, always changing her mind." The stench of glue, still thick in Molly's nose, itched at her airways as she crawled into the front seat of her vehicle. As she started her engine, she heard a familiar, yet peculiar sound, like the neighing of a horse. She scanned the parking lot, and when she saw nothing, she shook her head. I must be hearing things. She reversed her vehicle and watched the backup camera as she guided her small, compact SUV out of the parking spot. A dark shape raced across the camera's screen. Molly hit the brakes. Her heart thumped in her chest as she peered out the back window. What was that? Thunder boomed, followed by a whip of lightning. Molly jolted and almost jumped through the roof. "Get a grip, you silly chicken! It's only an approaching storm. Nothing to be worried about." Fat drops of water plopped on her windshield as she left the parking lot. The wipers swished water from side to side. A gray truck crept up on her. Oh, bloody tailgaters. Why do they always have to be in such big vehicles? Molly purposely slowed down to 40. The truck closed the space, almost kissing Molly's back bumper. Any faster and the gink would be riding her muffler. She tapped the brake, slowing down to 30. The turkey behind her should turn off or back off. A large crack of thunder struck Molly. Molly's eyes widened. There! Spike, standing in the middle of the road, with lightning illuminating his silver horn. She hit the brakes with a squealing halt. Molly braced herself for the inevitable thud. Squealing of rubber, a horn blared and bang! The sickening sound of breaking glass and screaming filled Molly's ears. Shaken, Molly glanced around. The gray truck sat at a funny angle on the sidewalk, with a no parking sign bent over the hood. A marshmallow pillow floated part way out the driver's window. Peeking back at the road, Molly gasped. Spike reared up on his hind legs, his sleek black muscles rippling in the wet rain. He bolted off the road. Forcing air into her pinched lungs, Molly pulled her vehicle over. Many witnesses stood about, or pulled over like she had done. One was on a cell phone. Molly waited. The scene flashed by in a confusing blur once the police and a medical team arrived. The driver, a young 20-year-old, was taken to hospital. He had minor injuries thanks to the airbag, and the young woman he was with was fine, but she went along to get checked out anyway. Molly was relieved. After taking her statement, the police let her leave. Molly hurried home at the correct speed limit and parked her SUV. Her old bones whined, and her muscles started to lock up from the stress of the accident. She hobbled out of her vehicle smiling. She did break for invisibles, and the unexpected too. Spike the unicorn was utterly invisible, and quite a surprise to see after all these years. A gray bubble envelope peeked out of her mailbox beside the door. She pulled it out and saw that the return address was Michael's. He was always taking good care of his mother. Her medication was right on time. Molly opened her door and hurried into the kitchen. Grabbing the scissors, she ripped open the envelope and squeezed out a clear plastic bag of multicolored CBD gummy bears. The annoying pop song, "I'm a gummy bear," played in her head as she slashed the bag open and pulled a yellow bear out of the package. She hurried to her easy chair. Once she was snuggled into the recliner, she popped the yellow devil into her mouth and savored the pineapple flavor. She would soon be washed in sweet pain relief and then have a good nap. "People better watch out," Molly murmured as her eyes grew heavy. "I break for fairies, leprechauns, dragons, gnomes, Spike the unicorn, and other invisible creatures that only I can see."